All right, so the 11 hottest cards in the Pokemon hobby this week have just released, and some of these cards are just doing absolutely ridiculous numbers. So let's jump into it and check out these cards that are rising in price for the brand new week. Now, before we jump into the cards, I just want to say thank you to today's video sponsor, which is, of course, sushigrade.net. Now, if you haven't heard of sushigrade.net, they are going to help you with all things grading. There is a brand new free grading tool or pre-grading tool, which will help you with the centering on your cards. You can upload a photo there and pretty much check out whether your card will score a 9, a 10 based on its centering. And then if you guys do want to get the paid version, there are a few other really cool features as well, including potential grading plays that are going to get you the most profit, depending on how much what you want to spend and where you want to be with the grading outcome and the potential profit that you can make as well. So if you want to check them out, they're linked down in the description below. Now, jumping into card number one, this is not a card that I have to introduce to anyone. It is the Umbreon VMAX Alt Art, the Moonbreon as everyone sort of knows it. And the crazy thing is this card has finally broken $2,000, but not only did it break $2,000, it is now sitting at $2,119. So it's absolutely flown by the $2,000 mark and continues to go. And look at the run that this card is on right now. So August 31st to September 2nd, so the start of this month, the card was sitting at $1,388 market price. And it is now $2,119, which is a 43% increase. But when prices are this expensive to start with, a $1,300 card increasing by 40% may not sound like much, but that's an $800 increase. So it's crazy to think. And, you know, it's largely in part to a lot of big selling days where there was 13 and 9 almost back to back in these 3-day periods, but it just keeps selling and selling. I can't imagine what the PSA 10s are selling for at this point. And with these videos as well, guys, let me know if you want me to include the PSA 10 prices. It might make the videos a little bit longer, but if that's the info that you guys want, I definitely want to know down in the comments. So let me know if I should include the PSA 10 prices on these cards too. So Moonbreon is at $2,120, which is crazy. Sticking with Evo Skies, the Dragonite V is the next one. This is up 76% in the last 3 months. I knew it was moving up. I didn't realize it was by that much. So a couple of months ago, you could have got this for 233. It's now 477. It's pretty much doubled in the last couple of months, which, you know, is insane. I think this is a really cool card. This is probably one of the best Dragonite artworks I think we have, period. And when you look closely, like there's some other Pokemon in the card as well. There's Fearow below him. There's a couple of Spearow as well, which, you know, not the coolest Pokemon to have in the background, but still pretty decent. I would have preferred like Pidgeot, Pidgeys, and Pidgeotos, but they can't always get the spotlight. Sometimes Spearow and Fearow got to get their love too. So I think it's a really cool card. Again, another alt art. It seems like it's a lot of sword and shield stuff that's going up in value this week. And as we go through the list, you'll see that there is quite a good mix of sword and shield stuff going up right now, and not just the Scarlet Violet stuff, which we've seen a lot of lately. So the next one, again, from Evo Skies. It's all Evo Skies to start off the list today. The Umbreon V Alt Art. And you're going to think I'm crazy, I prefer this to the Moonbreon. I think if this was all the way to the borders, like this one is, see how the art touches the borders? I feel like if this one went all the way to the borders as well, people would like this card better than the other one. I don't know what it is about a card that doesn't have borders and is completely immersive, but it just looks better than having the borders there, in my opinion. So it would be really cool to see a future like Umbreon card do that again and just see what happens with it. Because I'm not a fan of the rainbow borders. Like I don't like the prismatic stuff that much. Like I'll take it, but I would much rather have this over like the prismatic stuff with the rainbow borders. And of course, like the Umbreon, this one, the VMAX, is now like out of reach. It's pretty much too expensive for most regular collectors to purchase. So I just need to kind of wait to see if it drops or potentially pick it up in a trade or something like that. So this one, though, is sitting at $426 market price now, which is crazy. There's been a huge buyout. You can see it here, 31 items sold between September 15th and September 17th. So this bad boy is going to the moon, no pun intended. But I really like this card. I'm not going to say it anymore. I really like this more than the original one. Next up, Charizard V Max, the Sword and Shield promo card. We already saw kind of runs with the other Charizard UPC promo cards. They kind of had their spotlight already. And this is the last one that hasn't taken off yet. And well, it has now because it's up 250% in the last 3 months. And most of that coming in the last month, basically. If we have a look, 136% in the last month. So it's just going up and up and up. And you can see the trajectory here. Looks like it might have smoothened out and flattened off a little bit at the $65 mark, but who's to say, man? Like, there could literally be the next couple of days where like they sell what in line with this. So like 98, 82, something like that over the next couple of days. And it could just keep going up and up as well. These promo cards, I've always thought they were cool. And I remember not this one, but the one where it's sleeping in the field and there's the Venusaur in the background. That one, I remember seeing that in a vending machine for like 20 Australian dollars, which is like 10 or 15 US dollars. I remember seeing it for 20 bucks and thinking it was too expensive to buy out of a vending machine. And now I regret not buying it. Like they were back to back to back to back in this vending machine. I could have bought 30 of them because they were all just one behind each other. I should have done it. But you know, at the time it was a $15 card. Like I wasn't really thinking about it. And now I kind of look back and wish that I had. But it's good to know that my judgment on cards that I actually like and I actually think look cool do end up being valuable cards. Like a lot of the picks that I've had for my own personal collection have ended up being valuable, which is great. And I guess as we continue to go forward, I'll just trust my gut with whatever I think is going to go up and hope that I continue to be right. The Charizard EX from Scarlet and Violet. So we're starting to get into some of the more modern stuff or ultra modern stuff, I guess, with Scarlet and Violet era. $302 now. So it's broken 300 bucks. This was $215 like a month ago, pretty much a month ago. So it's had a pretty decent increase. Again, 151 is always going to be that set. I spoke about it in my last video as well. That is like the icon set, I feel like, of the modern, or at least of the Scarlet Violet era. I don't know if I want to say all modern because like Evo Skies kind of still has top spot, but I feel like you have one set per era that kind of defines it, and 151 for Scarlet Violet 100% would have been that, at least for the 90s kids like myself who grew up watching it. It's just pure nostalgia. So Charizard EX up 62%, Blastoise making a run as well with a 39% increase. So this one's $87 right now. I actually picked one of these up this week for an absolute bargain. I got this and the Bulbasaur from Stellar Crown for 120 bucks Australian, which is like 90 or 80 USD, I want to say. So I got the Bulbasaur for free, basically, is what I'm saying. So it was an absolute steal. Facebook Marketplace actually paid off this time. It pays off to sometimes scroll through for hours at a time. But I digress. You know, you have to do a lot of hunting to get a good deal like that. And I was just lucky that I was right place, right time for that one. And we pulled it off. So we also have the Venusaur EX, no surprise, making a rise as well. $83, almost as expensive as the Blastoise, which is crazy. Like the Blastoise, I feel like so many more people like Blastoise compared to Venusaur, but it's still rising and it's right behind the big man Blastoise. So sitting at 83 bucks, it's up 54%, and 151 is on its way to the moon. Silver Tempest, Rayquaza VMAX. Love this card. Love the artwork on this card. This is an awesome card. Everyone is always constantly talking about the Rayquaza from Evo Skies, but I think this has been a sleeper for a long time. I don't think people really, I don't know, paid much attention to this card because the Evo Skies one existed and it was a lot crazier. And then when you talk about Silver Tempest, you kind of think of the Lugia and not the Rayquaza, but I would have been stoked to pull this out of a pack of Silver Tempest, man. I wouldn't have been like, damn, I didn't get the Lugia. I would have been so happy to get this. So $121 right now. You can see a lot of recent sales between September 9th and September 11th. There was 23. So that's kind of the reasoning behind a little bit of increase. Is there's just been a bit of pickup in the purchases. Doesn't look like a crazy buyout. There was just one day where like it was fairly above the rest, but you never know. It still could have been. 120 bucks, still underrated, still undervalued. Next up, this is what I'm saying about like the picks that I make and the cards that I like just go up. This is one of my favorite cards in my collection, in my personal collection. And I've had offers to sell it in the past. I've always said no because I truly believe that this card isn't even close to its potential yet. The Blaziken VMAX, again from Silver Tempest, people sleep on Silver Tempest. I'm telling you, there's some bangers in that set other than the Lugia. But this one, again, it's not a crazy expensive card. It's only $29 now. But again, it has gone up 15% in the last couple of months. A lot were actually bought this week. So there was 29 bought between the 9th and the 11th. It could continue to go up. We don't really have data here showing that it's going to go up, but obviously in the next couple of days, we'll have that. I truly believe that this card is at least a $50 card. I think it's awesome. I think it is really cool. And you got May on there too, which is nice as well. I know a lot of people like her character. Next up, the Roaring Moon from Prismatic Evolutions. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Prismatic, and I'm not the first one to say that, but to me, Prismatic just feels like, it feels like the risk of opening Prismatic is not worth the price you pay for it. So I would much rather get sealed product and hold on to it if I can stop myself from selling it, or if I can get it at retail, like I'll look to sell it at shows and things like that, and trade it away for other things. But I just don't think for me opening Prismatic is worth it. Obviously, people will argue if you pull a god back, yeah, it's a couple of grand, but really, what are the chances? I don't know, probably not very high. But this one's only up 15%. Again, not a huge increase on the recent prices, but there has been a real decent influx of purchases on this card. Again, Shinji Kanda artwork always seems to sell. You look at the Magikarp, you look at this card, you look at the Seismitoad from Black Bolt, his artwork just sells because it's such a cool style and people really like it. Last card on the list, again, I know not one of my favorites, but TCG player put it on their list, which means I got to put it in the video. The Leafeon EX SIR from Prismatic Evolutions. It's up 24%. This one actually took a bit of a dip. So this is the 1 month chart. It's obviously up 24%. But if you pull it into the 3 month chart, you'll see that it was 292 and it took a fat dip all the way down to 215. And now it's back up to 266. So if you bought it down at 215, you probably got yourself a bargain. I feel like this is one that's going to end up over $300 pretty soon. And to be honest, all of these evolutions, once Prismatic disappears out of like stock and out of rotation and isn't being printed anymore, they'll just go up in value because they're going to be so hard to find. Anyways, so that's the list for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, thank you to Sushi Grade for sponsoring today's video. Make sure you check them down in the description below if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you are brand new, and I will see you guys in the next video.